Hi guys, welcome back. East meets West. Last time we talked, I talked a little bit about the visitor's visas, which are a little more difficult to get here in the United States. Today I'd like to go a little bit further and talk about the K-1 visa, which is the Fiance visa. For those of you that are bringing your sweetheart over and hopefully you're going to get married, with the K-1 visa, you have 90 days from the time she arrives in the United States to perform a marriage ceremony. This can take anywhere from 8 to 10 months. With delays because of the pandemic, it's actually taking a lot longer. You also have to add 4 to 6 weeks for the internal interview notice. There can also be a lot of other factors delaying everything. The most common delay is a request for evidence, an RFE. Depending on how long it takes you to provide them with the evidence you want, all your paperwork will be stopped and put on hold until they get satisfactory answers. And of course, there's always unforeseen delays. Natural disasters, war, terrorism. But in general, if you have everything in line the way they want it, they tend to move along pretty good. Some people have reported having theirs back in anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Some things in the K-1 visa are common with any visa. You have to have proof that you can afford to come to the United States, and your sponsor, whoever it may be, has to be able to prove that should something go wrong, they will pick up the cost of taking care of you. The fees get a little more expensive. The USCIS fee of $510 is the main fee that you're going to pay. There's embassy fees of $265. Of course, there's travel cost, medical exam, and assistance, whether it be an attorney or a professional that's going to help you obtain the visa. Your total government fees are $775. As well as fees, another thing that you really need to pay attention to, especially in this time of pandemic, is travel updates and travel restrictions. One of the best places, the most accurate information out there, has come from a YouTuber, a lady named Addie from the Eaton squad. She is very diligent and double checks all her information to make sure it's correct. I recommend her highly. If you're not already subscribed to their channel, subscribe, give them a thumbs up, keep in touch with them. They're really nice people. Again, some of your fees are going to vary. Your medical can run anywhere from $60 to $300. Your travel expenses, depending on where you're flying from, obviously the plane ticket fees vary. Assistance for lawyers can vary anywhere from $1,800 to $3,000. And other agencies can charge anywhere from $100 a month up to $800, $1,400. If you're using an online marriage service, they can range anywhere from $50 to $1,400. One of the main keys to having your fiancé visa approved, our USCIS insists that you meet in person at least one time. If you've never gone to see your spouse, or your spouse has never come to see you, chances are you'll not be approved for your visa. Costs that you might want to consider are postage, sending documents back and forth, the cost of acquiring some evidence, birth certificates, divorce papers, a range of different evidence that they're going to want. Passport photos. If there's children involved, that's an additional expense because you have to get visas for each one of those children also. And in some cases, translation services are needed. I want to break down a little bit the different roles that each one of the parties play. The petitioner for a K-1 visa would first need to prove that they're a U.S. citizen, be legally free to marry, intend to marry within 90 days, have physically met their fiancé within 2 years, meet the income requirements, proving that you can afford to have a wife. Your assets can be used 1/3 of a dollar value of certain assets, such as real estate, stocks, bonds. You can use about 1/3 of the total. Another thing that will make a huge difference is if you use an international marriage broker. You must, absolutely must, disclose this in your application. Okay, the visa process is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The U.S. citizen sponsor files a K-1 visa petition. You complete that on the I-129F petition package, along with a check to the Department of Homeland Security for $510. Approximately 2 to 3 weeks, you'll get a notice of action, which is the USCIS acknowledging that they received your petition. 8 to 10 months after that, you'll receive a second notice. That is notifying you that your petition's been approved. Your files are turned over to the NVC. National Visa Center runs security checks, make sure everything's legal and above board, nobody's wanted, there's no sex trafficking, drugs, prostitution, everything's above board and legal. You can call or email the State Department at nvcinquiry@state.gov. After the background check has been run and everything's clear, everything is sent to the embassies, to the Bureau of Consulate Affairs. They'll send your paperwork to the embassy of whatever country your fiance's in, whether it be the Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Nigeria, whatever country she's in, your paperwork goes to the embassy in that country. Next is gather your embassy documents that you'll need. The U.S. Embassy will instruct your fiancé to return some of the documents immediately. Other documents will be kept until the interview. Then we go on to the medical exam. The fiancé will be sent a package to instruct her on how to get the medical exam and what's required in the exam. You must pay for the medical exam. Again, the fees vary from doctor to doctor, country to country. The fee usually paid in local currency, depending on the location. You, the U.S. citizen, you don't need to do anything but make sure she makes her appointments and pay the fees. This next step is one of the critical parts to you obtaining your visa. It's the embassy interview.